If you've ever had the chance to visit Israel, chances are you flew into Ben Gurion Airport. Ben Gurion is the country's single largest airport, servicing nearly 90% of all flights into and out of the state. Well, the airport has just announced a massive new expansion, and ILTV's Brett Allen Smith is here with the details. So, Brett, how big are we talking here?
I'd call this a very major overhaul, in my words. Officials at the local airport authority say that they're expanding service stations, adding dozens of new check-in counters, and augmenting the new passenger wing that just went live a few months ago. So they're estimating that this is going to be a 1 billion shekel makeover, and that's nearly $250 million US. So it's big.
Wow, I mean, yeah, no, that's definitely quite a chunk of change. But I mean, as you mentioned, this comes just 2 months after the new passenger wing E, as I understand, opened up. So why the need for even more expansion now?
Well, last year Israel hit, as we know, a record high number of tourists, almost 4 million, a little over 3 million. The summer season is about to start here, but we're already seeing that tourism rising just as it was before. Last year there were almost 21 million entries and exits. Next year the state expects something like 25 million arrivals and departures from Ben Gurion. Wait times at the airport right now aren't necessarily, terrible, but with numbers like these estimates, you're going to need facilities to back it up. And even now, ahead of any construction, airport staff is setting up a new temporary service counter station in a small structure across from the main terminal, that's Terminal 3. So they're already bracing.
I mean, yeah, it's getting pretty interesting because even with last year being a record high for tourism, as you've just said, there are a lot of analysts who say that there should actually be way more tourism than there actually even is. So if the airport authority is putting 1 billion shekels into this, I guess they're putting their money where their mouth is? Or?
Yeah, or at least where they hope their mouth is anyway. I mean, look, those analysts do have a real point here. I mean, flashback a couple years ago to 2014 when the Gaza war broke out during Operation Protective Edge. Israel's tourism ministry took a big hit from that, and it took a few years for foreign tourists to finally feel safe about even coming to Israel again. And it kind of goes both ways, of course. I mean, Israel is also a common access point for travelers to reach the Palestinian territories. So you could say that when Israeli tourism takes a hit, so does Palestinian tourism, which is in its own kind of an interesting paradox in that way.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't hurt that there are a ton of new low-cost airlines actually that now fly in and out of Terminal 1, like WOW Air and Ryanair, which certainly makes traveling all the way to this side of the world a lot cheaper.
Oh, sure. I mean, I have a few friends actually who visited Israel for their first time totally on a whim just because they found, a cheap ticket online. Now look, there's obviously more to life than politics, but again, they came because they felt like Israel and the Palestinian territories were a safe place to travel around, which at the end of the day is ultimately what you think about when you're, planning a vacation.
That's a good point. All right, now, thanks for the details, Brad. Thank you for your report.